the main questions people always ask is how to efficiently select stitches on the Husqvarna Viking Brilliance 75Q. We're going to take a little tour around the screen showing you the easiest way to get to all your stitches as you start to maybe do your stitch book and start stitching out all these stitches. It's a great way to learn your machine, learn what you have in here, and also see how the stitches stitch. When you turn the machine on, you're going to get right to a straight stitch. So to get to where all your stitches are, you are going to touch the tab at the top with the red zigzag. So between these two tabs, you will see me throughout all of our video tutorials kind of working here where we can adjust stitch length, stitch width, adjust tension. But when I want to go from stitch to stitch, I'm going to hop over to the zigzag tab. Here, you can select all the stitches and they show right here on screen. Do you know that these are actual size? So if you're wondering how big it's going to be when it's just first selected, that's how big it's going to stitch out, which is something I absolutely love. So right now you see stitches 1 through 12, and one way to get around your machine is to use the little arrows right here. These will toggle through from page to page all the way through your entire machine. You're noticing that we are kind of in an A menu, and then it switches to a B menu called applique stitches. And then it'll get to a C menu. And as you go, you realize this is a lot of button pushing. A faster way to get around to your stitches is to touch and hold the zigzag red tab at the top. See this little arrow pointing in the bottom right hand corner? This is my reminder that if I touch and hold that little tab, something better opens up. So here we can jump from group to group, A to B to C. And do you notice these little bubbles next to the letter? These bubbles will allow you to toggle through the pages and then back to the first page of A. If I want to jump down to D quickly, oh look, those are my quilting stitches. Oh look, there's a stitch that's preset for 1/4 inch. Oh, using my regular standard presser foot. But look how many stitches are in D. And you can see all of them, or jump around. Also, there's an arrow down here, so that shows that there's even more. If it goes away, touch and hold that tab at top. Touch it again, and you can see we get through all of our stitches. So many people don't even know that these even exist, so this is so important that you realize that they're there. Also, if you ever have a question about one of the stitches, touch the question mark and touch a stitch, and it will give you a definition of what it is, give you an idea of how to use it, or something to check your manual for more information. Check box will take you back out. And if you are looking to get back to a straight stitch, you can come right back up to A and choose stitch number 1 for a straight stitch. So this touch and hold feature is going to be your best friend throughout all of these videos and for using your machine. I think that's the one thing people don't realize, that is there and it's so easy to get around. And yet there is one more way to get all your stitches to show. Touch the orange menu button and touch the zigzag over here at the side. By doing that, that also will open up all the different lettered menus so you can get to all your stitches. So whether you touch the zigzag here or you touch and hold the zigzag at the top, you find out which one is easier for you. The other thing that you can do is you can also use the sewing advisor to get to some basic utility stitches. So for example, if I touch B and I choose woven medium fabric and I choose number 1, which is a seam, it will take me to a straight stitch. So number 1 down here is another way to get to a straight stitch. Number 2, let's see what it's called. It's called an overcast stitch. So it's going to take me to an overcast stitch appropriate for woven medium fabric. Keeping in mind, if I had a stretch heavy fabric and an overcast stitch requested, it will take me to a different stitch for that fabric. So when you're unsure, make sure that you leave the sewing advisor on woven medium, which is the B, and then you can touch any of these and see what it will take you to. Like that's a basting stitch, this is a blind hem stitch, this is a hem, and that is a buttonhole. So it's so easy to get around this machine quickly in more than one way. So remember, when you come back, you can always arrow through all the pages. That's the long way. You can touch and hold, and use the jump to a menu and then select a stitch. And you can use the Sewing Advisor and get to some utility stitches based on certain fabrics. And if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know where you are, you can always turn your machine off and turn it back on. And then you'll be back to a straight stitch. So hopefully these will help you, and I hope you'll check out and use the touch and hold on the red tab at the top of your stitch menu. Check out all of our videos in the description below, where you can find a playlist where you can watch all these videos to learn every part of your machine from A to Z.